Hey guys, Kane here, and in this video we're gonna check one of my friend's formations, as he did ask me for what kind of improvements he can do to be better and potentially beat me. So the difference in our core power is 1 million. However, I've counted in the past like 10 minutes of checking, and he does have, I do believe, five, or rather, sorry, nine five-star premium artifacts. So essentially, that 1 million core power doesn't really mean much in our circumstances, since if he would use those premium artifacts properly, he essentially would easily win against me, pretty easily, I suppose. I don't think he would be sweating even doing that. So, first things first, the pet difference. His pet is fully on clearing the enemy front line, I do believe. Engage, damage taken by enemy melee, increased by 120%. Evade chance is reduced, healing is reduced. So this pet is friggin' insane, and it's mainly just for removing enemy frontline. Though the thing is, my frontline didn't take almost any damage, or so. You can see that none of them died. My pet is not as good since it's like the basic stuff, so you know. Going towards the dragons, I checked before, he has 4 greater abilities. Aura Blast is one of the more important ones because it makes enemy melee units take 35% more damage. Of course, those who are being hit by this ability, and in early to mid meta, this skill can even kill backline archers as well as heroes. So this is probably one of the more important skills for early to mid game players like such as me. He has the Dragon Scale Heart, which is a good tanking ability. He has the new tanking ability as well as Draconic Blessings, giving more damage to his backline units or backline ranged units. His Draconic is a bit weaker than mine since he doesn't have a tier 3 talent of any kind, and he does have a couple of tier 2s, but his army is not as good on attack since he doesn't have anything in destruction. So that aside, his heroes. So I've checked before majority of his heroes, and the video was like 35 minutes long, so I don't really want to release a video of like over 30 minutes. So essentially, I will just skip through most of these heroes. So Tisiphone, he doesn't have a good artifact on Tisiphone, or rather, Prism on Tisiphone. The thing is, most people use a Spirit Fracture for her, and she does a lot more damage with it. I do believe Spirit Fracture is something like buffing or her summons, or those summons debuff the target or something like that, but I do recall a lot of people using Spirit Fracture, and it performs exceptionally well on her, as well as a Cursed Crown, which he has 5 stars. So he does have everything that requires to get this hero going. Now, the only thing is, I do not know what skills people use on her, so I cannot really say anything towards that. However, when I said he has everything, I mean, he does have true emeralds on heroes like, one moment, heroes like Rufio, which have pretty god awful build. However, he's using a true emerald on a hero like Rufio, who does 400,000 attack, or rather damage. Basically, his core of the field are mages and necromancers, though he's using a proper prism on, let's say, heroes which are useless to him. So he doesn't have that proper efficiency, and he doesn't, how can I put it? He doesn't put value in the core of his field. Like, for example, if my core of the field would be Avril, but I would put the true emerald on Rufio, a hero I wouldn't be using. So that would be like the same effect, I suppose. Or I would put a true emerald on Mako, right? That is probably the better example. If he's if he has proper heroes or mage research, necromancer research heroes, and even the highest level compared to the others, he has to put the highest value on getting them going, and not heroes which like you half-ass in the version of like skills, prisms, or research. Everything requires a lot of features to get those heroes and those things going. And he has proper stuff, or almost proper stuff, on Tisafin. I mean, of course, equipment can change, but Tissafin's majority of the damage is the artifact, the prism, the abilities, the potential, which he also can improve. And the thing is that I figure that is because of his potential on Basric was 35. Why is this 35 when his Basric is level 60 while his friggin' mages are level 63? So if you're not putting 35 on Tissafan, she's a new hero, I understand. Friggin' Ophidia also has potential unlocked. Why isn't Ophidia 35 then? Because, like, if you focus mage and necromancers, so you should put more effort into mages and necromancers. Like, even Ophidia, like, she's one of your better DPSs, I suppose, since even Nora or other rogues didn't even hit top damage charts, and going from Ophidia, everything in here are just mages and necromancers. So he has to value his DPSs properly. So that is probably one of the core mistakes that he does on his field. So that aside, he also uses Heroes Frontline. Now, I've stated in multiple videos, you cannot, and I do mean you cannot use Heroes Frontline if you want to beat people stronger than you. Like, this is not even an option. The thing is, most of these heroes require just one Deadeye headshot and they're gone. And the reason why I said one Deadeye headshot is his variant is frontline. His equipment for tanking is very, very bad. His health on variant is god awful. Like, even my variant is 11.5 million health, and he tanks quite a lot. Like, can you see how much my variant tanks? And I do not want to put in frontline because he will get one-shotted. Quite a few times I see my variant be yeeted to like 5% in just one arrow or something. Like, that is the reason why I'm not putting heroes frontline, since I don't have like the things that will make them tankier. And like, this sort of a thing is why people are losing quite a lot. Like, for example, if I would turn anything replays, right, I would check a fight like this, right? I'm pretty sure people will have heroes frontline. One moment, let's check this formation. Heroes frontline. Heroes frontline, right? They're checking a lot of these people's formations and then assuming, yeah, probably like this person is good, and copy their formation because everybody is using Heroes Frontline. However, Heroes Frontline, they only perform good if you have proper artifacts, proper prisms, proper research, proper like hero mastery, proper other buffs which buff HP and stuff like that, like heal efficacy as well. Like, you need to have a lot of things to be able to put heroes frontline, and that is the reason why I'm not using heroes frontline. All of my gladiators are behind the front line, buffing the front line to take less damage and also heal it. So for example, if you can check my healing done, my gladiators are healing the front line. Like, even my own front line is healing the front line. Like, as you can see, that his front line is also somewhat healing, I suppose, but it's not surviving long enough to do almost anything. So I suppose that is like the second thing, is because he's following the meta of the very late game players and using heroes frontline, and that is why he's losing. The third thing, or rather, third thing is also hero placement. So he has Fenris placed here. Now the thing is that I've checked before, Fenris has a particular artifact 5-star, which is the Spirit Flute. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether or not he should swap Fenris to a better place or not, but the 5-star ability on this artifact, the hero also receives aura for 25 seconds, increasing attack speed of surrounding friendly units by 65%. Now let's check where he has placed Fenris. So he has placed Fenris to buff Ophidia and to buff Alana. Alana doesn't do anything, so the only attack speed anyone that gets on his field from that artifact is Ophidia. Now, if you would swap Fenris with Mira, right, attack speed would be increased on Tisiphone, on Valerie, on Nora, on the Deadeye squad. I'm not sure Avril is in range, but you get the point. Like the difference between just swapping one artifact from the corner to like in front, or rather the middle of your DPS, what kind of an effect it would actually have. So that is like another mistake, is like misplacement of some of his core things that he does have on his field. Then again, another thing is his formation. So most people, myself included, you have to have a burst side. So for example, a burst side means you take one part or rather one corner of your field and you plow through that one corner of the field to break through faster. Essentially, the person whose burst squad wins faster usually wins the game, because most of those units will start focusing on one frontline squad or backline, or any heroes in the backline in terms of those blade masters just like walking in and out towards like their backline and stuff like that. Like essentially, the first squad to bypass the enemies like squad in front of them usually wins the game, depending on the losses, depending on skill cast and stuff like that. So essentially, his formation doesn't have a stall side, his formation doesn't have a burst side. What he has is a burst middle. And sure, his Avril can reach almost any side of the enemy field, but enemy can also reach his side of the field as well. And I will show you in fight in a couple of minutes where my Rakan archers were firing the arrows, and pretty much the placement of his heroes was almost ideal for the Rakan archer scattering. So I think that's pretty much it for, I suppose, heroes. He had some improper prism placements on quite a few heroes, I think. Some heroes' equipment could be adjusted. Majority of the artifacts were okay, I suppose. He can test out some different things since he does have 5-star premium artifacts, but essentially, I suppose his formation does need a clear cut burst and a clear cut stall side, because this is not gonna go very far. So going towards the match, now I'll have to pause the video and explain what happens. So as the fight began, I instantly cast the Valerie ability, I think the Fire Dance. So the thing about it is I have a proper set which will make the Valerie be able to cast it in the very beginning, like 1 second into the match. He didn't cast it, so he doesn't have instant burst. What he's gonna do is he's gonna cast the Raxias, and he's gonna stun my Avril and also the archers as well. So the thing is, his hero walked forward and he hit invincibility. So once those heroes in front of my squad or frontline die, very soon they're gonna give morale boost. A morale boost means 50% more attack speed, 50% more defenses, and stuff like that. Now, in terms of backline, I was finally able to cast the Avril Blizzard and look at the damage it was doing and is doing. And then a random Rakan scattering just does or finishes off after the invincibility finishes from them. So yeah, pretty much he doesn't have a backline remaining just because of the Avril and because of the Rakan Archer scattering. Now, you probably noticed that the scattering, they were doing scattering left, middle, and right. That is why everything in this corner is dead. Because if he would have the, let's say, burst side here, he probably would have beaten this Blade Master squad and these Rakan archers. So I wouldn't be able to focus like those heroes properly. But the placement of his heroes made my Rakan archers and rather placement of his mechs and his heroes as well scatter the Rakan archer damage left, middle, and right. And that is why all of the heroes in here are all dead, because he wasn't able to get rid of my archers quick enough. His hero placement wasn't really that good, I suppose. His hero skill rotation wasn't also very good, at least in terms of what I had on my field. And pretty much my stall side survived and even did damage because I have Nora on my stall side. Now, Nora is not a huge DPS on my field, but essentially, if I face a stall side against like Lich or Human, Nora does quite a lot, and especially knock heroes towards invincibility, which helps me out a lot. I really don't need her on my burst side. So essentially, that is what kind of happened in the fight. I suppose he did quite a few mistakes in terms of his heroes, and essentially he has to focus his mages and his necromancers towards perfection. Again, his mages and necromancers are highest level, which means he has to take everything that is like decent from other heroes, which can be true emeralds and whatever, and put them on heroes which are the strongest on his field, to then his field performing a lot better. In terms of his field, Rufio is god awful useless. Like, even I used Rufio in the previous fights, and I even made video, and Rufio was god awful at level 63 for me, because I wasn't placing heroes frontline, and gladiators wasn't like 600 researches done plus or whatever, since I cannot really use that much since I want to play events. So essentially, yeah, that is pretty much it. He did quite a few mistakes in terms of misplacement of what he actually has. So essentially, if he works on adjusting the mistakes of the formation, works on adjusting the equipment of a few heroes, works on adjusting the prisms of a few heroes, and reset the potential on Basric and actually put it on his core mage or necromancer DPS, he would actually start performing a lot better and potentially winning a lot more fights than right now. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. Hopefully this was a useful and a learning experience for you, and I also kind of tried to make a 35-minute video a bit less, since, man, I kind of recorded 35 minutes and I thought I really just cannot play something like this, place something like this on YouTube. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, do please subscribe and do please like the video. It would help me out a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and stay safe out there.